Nano Banana Pro is now in Photoshop. We've been waiting a long time for this. So now that it's here, let's throw some tests at it and see how it performs. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to get it, how to use it, and then I'm going to show you what it's like when you're using it on a low quality image and a high quality image, and some of the quirks that I found along the way. So let's get right into it. First off, hop into Creative Cloud and just make sure you've got the latest Photoshop. Photoshop 2026 now has this built in directly, okay? You don't need to go into the Photoshop beta. That was the big thing before. So you know it's working when you make any selection. So if I do a Control A and you go to Generative Fill, and you see a little icon right here under partner models. These are third-party models. So this is, the Gemini models, Google, Forest Labs for Flux, that are outside of the Firefly family, okay? So Gemini 3, you're gonna wanna make sure that's selected. Again, that's Nano Banana Pro. 2.5 is the regular banana, okay? So that's how you know you've done it correctly. And to get started, all you have to do is, after you have the selection, type in what you want. So for here, I can say, make this a sunset image, and it's going to go ahead and think. And right over here, this is where your prompt is going to live, as well as any other variations you do. This is actually the kind of nice thing. It's built into the layer. So I have a layer here that lives on top of my image, and I can choose which version or variation I want. So right now I've generated one image, but if I go back and ask for another variation, it's all baked into this one layer, and I can easily go back and reprompt. So there we go. We've got make this image a sunset, and we only have one image as the option. So I'm just going to generate another one so we can compare the two. So there we go. I've got two different variations. I can switch here or I can switch here. It's the same exact thing, but it's nice that you've got everything baked into this one layer. So this image, just to give you some context, is my low res image. If I open up my canvas size and you see by my rulers, it's about 1500 by 1000. So about 1 megapixel. The quality that we got out of Nano Banana Pro, at first glance, it looks just about right with the image we got. I'm just going to scrubby zoom in a little bit and let's do a little comparison. You can see resolution wise, it did get a little bit worse than the default image, okay? So it kind of begs the question, should you be using this here or in Gemini? And I say this because Gemini, your output is now 2K. It's not 1K. Or 1 megapixel, right? So you're getting better resolution there. You could also use Google AI Studio and get up to 4K. So just keep that in mind if you're using this in Photoshop and you're not happy with the results. And again, this is my low quality example. So we'll see what happens in the high quality example. Now let's try some other tests. Let's say I just want to focus on the bricks and change the color. This is the issue I've kind of been seeing with the partner models when we're adding Nano Banana or Flux to the generation. Watch this. If I say, turn the bricks a black color, just to darken them, and I send this off, watch what's going to happen. And this I find to be the most frustrating part about what could be an amazing tool. So it did the work, right? And that's not my complaint, but look around my selection area. Do you see this? You see this tinting that's happening? So we get the tinting, but then look, we also get a misalignment of the actual selection. Look at this little smokestack thing right here, that vent, right? Notice that? Same thing with the trees, that misalignment. So it's like the benefit, in my opinion, of using it in Photoshop is so you have precise control over the selection, right? But then you run into this issue with, all this mismatch. And, I've brought this up in the past, and I've actually had a couple of people complain, well, Andy, you could just transform your image. And yeah, you totally can. But like now I have to sit here and like make sure it's perfect. Like, this isn't what I want to do. You know what I mean? And like, what if I'm off and it's not perfect? And I just feel like you spend more time just kind of doing this than if you try doing it manually. So I hope that gets fixed, but this is a problem that's been around. I feel like it affects the Nano Banana models a lot more than Flux, but you could see like, I don't like the tinting and everything. And I just feel like I'm creating more work if I need to mask that out and then transform it. So that's a little downside of using it here. But again, you get the benefit of using it in Photoshop. So I think it's good for like quick little fixes, but you see this jiggling? Like, I did a quick little transform and it wasn't perfect. So there's distortion there. So be aware of that when you're doing this in here. So there is a little bit of a fix to that if you don't want that jiggle or deformation, and you need to make sure you're using a square selection. So what I mean by that is if I go over here to the lawn here and I hold down shift and I drag out, and let's just say I want to add something here. I've got a perfect square because I held down shift. I can go here and do a generative fill and say, add a bush. If I generate this, I won't have that jiggle. And there's something to do with how the image is being downloaded from, from Gemini servers, whatever, and being distorted when it's not a square. So that's why we're aiming for square here. So we're going to let this process real quick. And so you see it added a bush here, right? But notice there's no jiggle, although it was a big selection. It fits perfectly. So this is what I mean by that square selection. So again, it didn't do it perfectly, but it did remove that jiggle. So if you know, hey, I've got to do a large area, just make sure you do a large selection area. Okay. That's how you get around that for now. I do hope they fix this. I think it's a little frustrating, but things could be worse. So now that we talked about the low quality image, I want to talk about the high quality image. So I literally just took this like an hour ago. Bronx Zoo was doing this beautiful lighting show. So it's dark here. So now let's say I want to do a Nano Banana prompt. I'm going to select the whole image and ask it to make it daytime. And just for context here, if I look at the canvas size, this is taken with my phone, about 4,000 pixels. So this is 4 times the resolution of the previous image, right? So make this daytime and we'll send that off. So now that that's generated, it did a phenomenal job. Like it nailed everything. Like it turned the lights off and it turned the sun on. Like incredible job. So no discredit there. But if I do my scrubby zoom in, right, I want you to pay attention to like the wiring of these animals and vegetation. I don't even know what they're made. It's like a fabric or something, but really incredible. Anyways, I highly recommend it. If you're near the Bronx Zoo, go ahead. But check this out. Look at how much sharper my photo is versus this. Again, that's that low quality I was talking about of the original Nano Banana Pro image coming in and then being, stretched to fit the image. So it's definitely a downside, but it does the heavy lifting really, really well. So I'll zoom in some more just in case it's not clear. Look at this this wiring here. Look at that. It basically goes away because it's just blurred and aliased so much. I mean, just look at the edges around this. You see that? So everything's pretty much blurred. So again, this is what happens when you work on a larger image, right? You're going to run into that issue. If you're new to prompting with Nano Banana Pro, definitely make sure you download my free guide below. So then here's another use case where this might happen. Let's say, I just do my square selection and I do a tighter area. So now instead of doing, my 1 megapixel across the 4K image, what if I just do a small region, right? So I'll do generative fill and then I'll say, make this daytime, just as another comparison, the same exact prompt. Now, this is much better. This is about like the same quality, right? Like look at the wiring here, right? This is usable. So keep that, in your back pocket. Don't work on large areas. Don't do Control A. Do small tidbits and make sure they're squares. Otherwise, you're going to get that weird distortion. You'll get that weird color banding. This is really good. This is usable. I probably wouldn't break it up in different chunks. Like if I had to convert this whole image, I'd probably just wind up using an upscaler or something. But this is much better than this. Look at that. Look at like the difference. Like everything just looks so much sharper. I mean, this is crazy. Look at this. That's nuts. Even here. I hope you guys understand this tool is still super amazing, but you need to be a little bit smart about when you use it. Don't just like select the whole image and then do a change. Do smaller pieces, understand the limitations. Still an amazing tool. It'll get better, right? We've seen already huge improvements from regular Nano Banana, but overall, really impressive. They just got to fix those couple things, and I think this is golden. This would be my preferred way to use Nano Banana Pro. I don't mind using it in Gemini. It's just like, as a designer and architect, when I'm working on my images, I'm usually in Photoshop. That's the reality. I spend most of my time there. I don't want to have to like go to like some random browser tab. I want to work here in my tools, right? So anyways, if you have any questions about this workflow or anything, drop a comment. I always get back to you guys. And as always, please consider liking and subscribing to the video and channel. Really helps me out. And if you have any video ideas, let me know. I'm always looking for like the latest and greatest tech out there, and try to give my honest opinions on all this stuff. So anyways, thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.